we watched the special. It was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Loved it.
really.
Thank you so much.
Really fun, really funny. You filmed that in Frisco?
Yeah, we filmed it at the NAC Theater in it's like almost like the downtown Frisco area. If you're familiar with Frisco at all, it's kind of like where FC Dallas's stadium is at, behind that area.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's like a little 200 seat theater over there, and so we just rented it out and packed it out and had a good time over there.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
How does that how do you even do that?
Do what? Just you book a theater or pack it out or film the special?
Yes.
Which question? Which one specifically?
All three, please.
Okay, so we'll start with the space.
Start with the beginning.
Yeah, start with the beginning. So there's a guy named Travis Wright that runs a podcast called I'm a Fan Of, and he also has turned it into more of like a production company as well. He did Lawrence Rosales' special Trina back in I want to say they filmed it in 23 and then it came out in 24. So Travis and I had been talking for, probably about 5 years about doing this project. And we finally decided last year, or maybe about 15, 16 months ago, that we would do it in 2025. So started looking at spaces, found the space out in Frisco. They had a really cool setup to where we could basically transform the theater the way we wanted to. We could have it for tons of hours before the show. They hosted the ticket sighting, everything like that. They just kind of made it super easy for us. And essentially the theater was ours for almost a day. So Travis and his team went in there. It was him and two other guys. And the theater was already pretty. But they went in there and they changed the whole stage up. They put curtains up. They changed the lighting. Made it look like what it looks like if you see on the film. Looks like a completely different spot. So we made the decision. What was interesting was, like I said, we talked about like 5.5 years ago. We talked about doing the project. I knew the name of what I wanted to call it. I called it Blended Feathers, and I knew I was going to call it that. But at that time, I didn't really even have all the material. So I'm really glad we didn't do that special 5 years ago, because it just would have been a bunch of random jokes with the one joke that the special was named after. But instead, what it turned into was an hour of a through line joke with almost more of like a story, a start, a middle, an end. And it kind of turned into more than what it would have been 5 years ago. And so maybe I think it was like 2 years ago, I got approached to do a half-hour special through Open Bar, if you're familiar with them at all. They're an online comedy production company that does tons and tons of specials for different comedians, and they do half hours. So I went ahead and I filmed that back in May of 2024. That released January of 2025, and that was just a bunch of jokes that I was ready to get rid of. And then once that happened, I started working on the full length special. So spent 14 months just kind of traveling around the country trying to work on that material. And then we shot it back in December of 2025, and it came out a month ago. So pretty happy with the way it came out. It looks amazing. I think Travis did an unreal job. I've said this on a couple of podcasts, just talking about the production quality, not what I did, but not speaking on what my part of it, but just the production quality. I think we produced the best independent special to come out of Dallas.
Yeah, 100% could see that. Especially they've got the multicam, it's switching back and forth. There's closer shots on you. The color grading is fantastic. Did a really good job with that. And then it just very good, solid hour. Very funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. You have any before and after photos of what the NAC looks like? I've not been there personally.
If you go on to my Instagram, I posted kind of like maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, where I posted this thing where it shows a picture of me sitting on a stool the day that we went to go do the camera check back in November, and then a picture of me on a stool from when the special from the special. So what
Okay.
was interesting is like I get a text message. So we went in November. We met the camera crew up there, like the head camera person. He came. He brought his camera, and they filmed a couple of things just so they would get an idea of what it was going to look like on film. And I get a text from Travis like the next day or so, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I want to change some things, but it's going to change some of the things that you wanted to do on the night of the show. Let me know if you're okay with it." Because I was really, I have a theater background, so like I had a lot of details that I wanted to happen for the actual show, not necessarily like the recording. Like I wanted the people that came to see the recording to have a different experience. So like, for example,
Okay.
I had a playlist that I played the hour leading up to the show starting. So it was exactly an hour long, and it was all music that was either the hour was inspired by, or that I listened to while I was writing the hour.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question to that?
Yeah.
Was it just that song from Aladdin on repeat for an hour?
No, I don't even think that was on there, which is
Oh.
funny. Now that I think about it, it wasn't even on the music. It was like a couple of. It was like a. Do you know who the Starting Line is? They're like
I'm
an
not
emo.
familiar.
Okay, they're like a punk emo pop band from the early 2000s. So like there was one of those
Okay.
songs. I think there was like a Dashboard Confessional song. There was a song from the musical that I talk about in the show. Like this, there's like a bit that I do about a musical rehearsal. There's a song from that in there. There was a couple different hip hop songs. There was a song from the band or from the R&B group that I talk about in the special. So just, different stuff like that. So I was
Lincoln Park.
so I wanted, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying Lincoln Park.
Yeah, there was a Linkin Park song. Yeah. And so there was like just a lot of different things like that. And what I wanted to do was I wanted there to be this video that played right before the show started. And it was going to have like different Easter eggs in it, of things that I was going to be talking about in the special. Right. And Travis knew that was important to me. So he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I want to put these curtains up because it's going to look a lot better if we put the curtains up. Do you care more about what happens the night of the show or what happens on the special?" Like, right? Like what's your goal here? You want it to like your thing that you're trying to get to happen for the night of the show, or do you want the special to look better? And I was like, "Well, I want the special to look better." He's like, "Good. I was hoping that was the way you were going to answer." He's like, "Because if I put the curtains up, you're not going to be able to do your video because the projecting screen was on the wall. So we were going to cover it up with the curtains." And I was like, "All right, we won't do the video then." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there was just a lot of things that they did. And then he just kept sending me these different things. He's like, "Just trust me, it's going to look a lot better." And then when I showed up for sound check that afternoon, it was like a whole new space. And it was just him and two guys that did it all. So it was insane.
Was it kind of like when in Harry Potter is trying to go to Diagon Alley and he accidentally says Diagon Alley?
If I had ever seen Harry Potter, I bet you it is like that. So I'm going to just trust you that it's 1000%. Like,
Yep. That's a great reference.
I don't know what
crushed
you're
it.
up to right now, but all I'm going to say, Griff, is mischief managed because you got to chill, dude.
Reach.
Right. All right.
Sorry to interrupt you with a little Harry Potter speak.
Hey, I'll take it anytime. Anything you want to talk about, man, it's your podcast.
It's going to be probably a lot of Harry Potter.
Okay, cool. I'll just make it up as I go, right? I'll just yes and you.
Yes. Michael, what I was relating to pretty hard was the what's it called? the
Racial ambiguity.
racial ambiguity. I've been getting that a lot these past few years. Everyone thinks I'm half Mexican. I'm not Mexican at all. I'm just Italian and Irish. But I know it's a different level here. But yeah, but hearing those jokes, I like that a lot. That was funny.
Sweet. Where are you? Where do you live at? Do you live in Texas?
I live in Austin. I'm from Connecticut.
Okay. So how long have you been in Austin or in Texas in general?
I was in Fort Worth for 4 years, and I've been in Austin for like 4 months.
Okay. So did the people thinking you were Mexican start when you moved to Fort Worth?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. So it's like wherever, for me, it's wherever wherever I'm at. They think like, you know, my mom being from Louisiana, people in Louisiana would think I was French, like a dark French, because they have a lot of French that live there, right?
Sure.
If you're up in the Northeast, they're gonna think you're Italian. Here they think anybody that has dark hair is Hispanic. Like that, they cannot. They've started to figure out like that Indians exist. But even when because I grew up in the Dallas area, and even growing up, like kids that I knew that were Indian, like they thought they were Mexican too. It's like what? Come on, guys, like put something together, man. Like not figure it out.
That makes so much sense. I don't know how I never thought of that. It's regional.
Yeah, it's all regional. It's just like all these different parts of the country are all racist, and they don't know anything, and they just think like, oh, if anybody has dark hair, they have to be this one thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And 100% true. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. In New England, you're just a regular run of the mill WAP. And then
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
no problem. But here you're somebody here.
What would you say? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. That really clears up a lot. Michael, you mentioned that you were going around the country for this hour, right? Were you in the Northeast at all? You go up to
No.
New York or?
No, I didn't go Northeast. I did last year I did Florida, obviously Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico, Arizona, Tennessee, Washington State, and I can't remember where else. But yeah, I didn't go to the Northeast at all.
Mm-hmm.
Did I do Colorado last year? I can't remember.
I'm sure you had your reasons. I'm just not sure I'm going to be a fan of any of them, so I'm not going to ask a follow-up question on that.
What were you going to ask?
Why didn't you go to New England?
I don't think I got the opportunity. It's not that I didn't, the clubs did not hit me up, did not respond to me. There's one in Maine that I've gone back and forth with a couple times that they've never given me actual dates. Dude, it is a wild game you play with bookers. Like in a way you have to almost be in like a clinger. You got to respond so many times. Like there's this one club, I won't say where it's at or the name of it, that we have literally been going back and forth on dates for what feels like 2 years.
Oh
and it'll be like, hey, can you work this date? And I'll be like, no, I'm unavailable. And they'll be like, oh, send me your dates for these 3 months. And I'll send them like 11 dates. And then we won't talk for 4 months. And then I'll like follow up like once every like 3 or 4 weeks, hear nothing. And then all of a sudden they'll pop back up again. Like, hey, can you work this date? Oh, sorry. No, I'm booked that weekend or I have something going on. Here's another 11 options for you to choose from. And then nothing. And response, follow up. And then bam, they pop back up again. Hey man, can you work this one weekend? So yeah, so that's a lot of it.
How do they get anything done?
I don't know. Well, because there's 1,000 of them, or there's 1,000 of us. If you think about that, as comics, there's thousands of us just hitting them up. So I think that what probably a lot of them do is they probably just reach out. Like, let's say they need to fill one weekend, and like, so maybe someone falls out. They probably are sending that email to 10 people, and whoever responds first, they're giving it to.
Yeah, to them, we're just a number.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of how probably I would do it too. Let me just throw this out to a bunch of people. Whoever responds first, they get it because they don't want to chase us down.